and welcome to another exciting edition of Cammy's Comic Corner. I am your host, as always, Cammy. Now, this week was really kinda just lackluster overall. So I had to scrape together a Fast Five. I had a pick of the week, so let's just get right into it before I go drink, because this week was so depressing. Really lackluster. So, first up, from Image Studios, we have Four Eyes #2, written by Joe Kelly, and art by Max Fiumara. Now, #1 came out many months ago, but right about the same time as Joe Kelly's other series, I Kill Giants, was starting to get a major following, myself included. But now #2 is finally out. We follow this little boy, Enrico, as he tries... Well, let me make the setup for Enrico. In issue #1, he lost his father to a dragon. This takes place in the Great Depression, and dragons are very well alive and well in our world. And now we discover there's underground fighting rings for dragons, and Enrico discovers this, and he is just so mesmerized by it, because just watching these two vicious creatures just battle each other, blood and fire flying everywhere. He decides that he wants to avenge his father's death, and he wants to become a dragon hunter. He wants to go to the boss and ask for a job as dragon hunter, because one less dragon in the world means he's happier, because a dragon killed his pa, and by golly, he wants all dragons dead and done for. As he goes to the library to research some dragons, we find that dragons have been around on our Earth for many years, but they've kept to themselves, they've left humanity alone, and they've just been eating minerals and vegetables. So basically, they're big, fluffy sheep, only with vicious, nasty, big, pointy teeth and flames. They just want to be left alone. They don't mean us any harm, but we want to see them fight, because by golly, we're the Michael Vicks of the Depression. We want dragon fights, damn it. So this issue ends with him going to the boss and asking for a job as dragon hunter. He says, I'm going to tell you what I told your father all those many years ago when he asked me. You know, stay away from it. It's not the life you want. But after the kid's insistent, he goes, you know what? All right, welcome aboard to the madhouse. So a very fun issue. Joe Kelly this and Bad Dog, which came out last week. He's really starting to climb that ladder of favorite writers of 2009. So bravo, Mr. Kelly. Another one out of the ballpark. Now on to the Fast Five. First up from Marvel is Ghost Rider #32. Now, the battle for heaven is on till the break of dawn. And it's Johnny Blaze and all the other Ghost Riders battling Zadkiel and Danny Ketch for, you know, who gets supremacy, who gets to get heaven, pretty much. So basically, all these Ghost Riders are dying because Daniel Ketch is sucking their powers from them. And then Johnny tells Danny, hey, let's just have a race around the world, you know, winner gets all. So they raced around the world. They raced around the entire world until Johnny's shot down by some hellfire. But pretty much Zadkiel wins in this issue. Daniel Ketch absorbs every single Ghost Rider power, and he is aimed like a gun, and Zadkiel pulls the trigger and breaks down the walls of heaven. It's going to be a very interesting next issue, seeing how, you know, heaven has been conquered by Zadkiel of all people. Well, not people, but angels. Tune in next issue, see where Jason Aaron is going with this. But I had fun anyway. Next up, from Dynamite Entertainment, we have the Death-Defying Devil #3. That's right, people. You know it's a slow week when I pick something that's a spin-off from Project Superpowers. So basically in this issue, which I had fun with. I really did. You know, I didn't really pick it up for the story as much. I picked it up for the gorgeous art. And all the different action sequences that we have. We find the devil breaking into this Hong Kong museum, trying to stop this underground army called the Claw, or organization, you know, it's kind of like Hydra or something. The Claw! Liar, liar. And he's just kicking ass left and right, thanks to his, with help from his ally, the Ghost, which has a really cool plane, and more importantly, a very cool Alex Ross cover. Because, yes, this is his baby, he is the creator of all these different stories and whatnot, so at least he's a nice enough guy to do the covers for every single story and spin-off stories from Project Superpowers. But other than that, yeah, like I said before, lots of action. I really like, of all the Project Superpower players, I really like the Devil the most, or the Death-Defying Devil the most, because he's just so much fun. Mainly because he doesn't say anything, so you don't have to worry about any, like, you know, lame banter. Next up from Marvel, we have Guardians of the Galaxy #10. Now, talk about a fun book. you got a whole prison fight in the Negative Zone prison. It's pretty insane. You get Star-Lord fighting against Blastar, and then the Guardians of the Galaxy swoop in and save him and rescue him. And you have I Am Groot, and you have Rocket Raccoon. You got Mantis. You got all the favorite players. But eventually they get him out. They go back to Earth and say, hey, you guys, you might want to never open this portal like ever, because then Blastar and his armies of the Negative Zone are going to come through and try to conquer Earth. And, you know, just as they're telling this to Mr. Fantastic and all the other smarty smarts of the Marvel Universe, that's exactly what Blastar is trying to do at that moment. He's trying to get through that portal and try to go conquer Earth, because, you know, he has a bone to pick with Earth. And don't we all? I mean, come on. Really? Yeah. Anyway, good issue. Guardians of the Galaxy has been a non-stop, fun series from Marvel. It's the nice complement to Nova. So just like you have Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps, you got Nova and Guardians of the Galaxy. I'd like to see a crossover between all 4 titles. That'd be pretty insane. Next up from Image, we have Invincible number 59. Now this is kind of a one-shot, because in issue 60, it's like every character in the Image universe coming together at some big, spectacular event. Hopefully better than Final Crisis and Secret Invasion combined. But anyway, back to Invincible. We follow Powerplex, aka Scott Duvall, as he's a scientist that works at the Pentagon. He's made this kind of suit that it absorbs energy, so every time you might hit him or throw something explosive or full of energy at him, it'll double his strength and whatnot. So it's kind of like, I want to say it's kind of like a Parasite, but kind of not really. But anyway, he has a bone to pick with Invincible, because way back when Invincible fought against Omni-Man, with all that destruction and chaos happening around them, this guy lost his sister. So now he seeks revenge on Invincible, makes his suit just to combat him. However, he has to use his wife and son as bait to get Invincible to come and battle him. And it turns out he can't control his own powers and accidentally kills his own family, which makes him swear even more revenge on Invincible, even though he's in this state, you know, prison for superpower villains. So add another rogue to Invincible's rogue gallery. Very good issue. It's Invincible. It's Robert Kirkman. It's Ryan Ottley. Go pick this up. I highly recommend this series. And finally, from Marvel this week, we have Spider-Man Noir number 3. So far, my only favorite Noir title of the Noir line. So we find Peter Parker. He's been bitten by a magical spider, not radioactive, but a magical spider. Goes around, finds out that Ben Urich is a part of Green Goblin's little mob thing, but apparently Ben has been compiling all this information on the Goblin and his little group of cronies. And he gives that information to Black Cat right before he is murdered, because he sees it coming. Black Cat gives it to Peter, says, hey, here's all the dirt on Goblin. Use it to your advantage. Ben wanted you to have this as a little goodbye. Thank you for being my friend. Present, I guess. So anyway, we find that J. Jonah Jameson isn't really J. Jonah Jameson, but the Chameleon, another part of the cronies of the Goblin. And it turns out that the real J. Jonah Jameson and Black Cat are captured. Goblin wants to know where that information that Ben had is at. Looks like Peter Parker is in their sights now. So one more issue left. I can't wait to see what happens. It's Kraven the Hunter, it's the Vulture, it's the Goblin, all versus Spider-Man. And that's the kind of stuff I like to see. Well, comic book fans, that does it for Cammy's Comic Corner this week. If you want to be a friend of the show or want more Cammy's Comic Corner goodness, go to www.cammyscomiccorner.com. From there, you can subscribe to us on the RSS feed or on iTunes. Also, for U.S. residents only, if you leave a review on iTunes for my show, just type in Cammy and it'll come up on the iTunes Music Store. Write a review, send me an email saying, hey, I posted a review, and send me your shipping address, and I'll send you a nice little care package of comics. It'll be random, because this is what this show is when it comes to prices. It's just random. So, if you want, that sounds good to you, free comics, go ahead and do that. Also, if you like any of the t-shirts that I'm wearing, G. Willow Wilson, motherfuckers, yeah! Go ahead and go over to www.deadlinegraphics.net and send Kelly an email. He'll send you the entire catalog. He has DC, Marvel, Image, Dark Horse, etc. And right now his deal going on for February is all comic book t-shirts, 20% off. How can you beat a deal like that, people? There's only one name that I trust when it comes to comic book t-shirts, and that is Kelly over at deadlinegraphics.net. Well, comic book fans, that really does do it for Cammy's Comic Corner this week. Very lackluster week, but hopefully next week will be a hell of a lot better. So until then, I've been your host, Cammy, and you all go have a good week. I'm going to go get some some coffee. You know, yeah, I'm that surprising. Bye. That was a